So real quick, again, this is how it comes pretty much. I put the temperature controller on the first night that I had it, but pretty much everything else is as you see it as it comes out of the box here. So we're going to start assembly on this. So the first thing is we're going to be assembling the discharge assembly here. And so a discharge pipe. So it just simply goes right in there. And then this is a silicone tubing that's coming out of the pump. There's a jacket that goes in there. That's makes it easy. It isn't lined up 100%, but because that's silicone, it really doesn't matter. So I'll get that in there and lock that piece in. All right, the next piece was to screw in the temperature probe. That's just a hand tighten right here. It goes in pretty easy. Next is we're going to install the pump filter. The pump filter comes in the bag here. There's a plastic piece, I believe. Yeah, that's going to be inserted in here, and the directions state that it needs to be pointed a certain way. So get started on that and show you where we're at. So the pump filter, when you get it, the end opens up here, so that way you can clean it out if it gets it. But inside there's the little plastic tube, and the opening has to be facing down towards the bottom, and it'll go right into this area right over here. So so far seems pretty simple. I'm going to pull out the center here to get to that, to make sure clearances and things are good, but so far so good. Okay, the filter went in pretty easy. Again, all the gaskets seem like they're good quality. One thing I did notice after I put it in is there is some sort of packaging in here. I don't know if it's, but it's like a hard, almost like a spine or something around to make sure that it doesn't get dented or something during the shipping process. So I gotta figure out how to get this out, because it looks like it's just not gonna slide out. It's kind of sticking down there, so we'll see what actually that is here in a second. All right, this was what was in the bottle there. I can't find any reference to it in the part, so it's probably just part of the packaging, but you know, it's like a hard resin material. Didn't come out in one piece, so don't think we need that though. All right, temperature probe, just push that in, pushes in, clicks once it's seated in there, and now time to put the mash tun together. All right, bottom of the mash tun is in. Directions said that part of the gasket came off. I can fix that. Directions said it was a little tight to get in there, and I found it was actually pretty easy, but the trick might be keeping this gasket on around it as it gets in there. So let me try that again, but as far as coming in and out, it wasn't too bad. Okay, it is in there and seated nicely. Again, wasn't too hard, just kind of worked the gasket in there, made sure it stayed near the edges there. Just to kind of put it on my lap and kind of worked it down through the bottom. So, but it looks like it's a nice tight seal on there. So now we'll get the overflow pipe in. Alrighty, so everything's put together. It was actually pretty quick, pretty easy. All the components are ready. It's ready to brew now. I gotta run it through a test brew, and then I'm gonna make sure everything's cleaned up real good. I'm actually gonna do a brew in it this weekend. So, but the assembly was really easy. The instructions were written well. The parts are machined good. I expected them to be a little bit more flimsy than they were, because I had some concerns because of the manufacturing issues that had kind of come up. But you know, as of right now, the hardware seems pretty good. So this took maybe a total of 15 minutes while I was messing with the camera and other things. So easy to put together. All right, let's fire it up. All right, one thing to look at is underneath the temperature unit, there's a couple places to install a screw. You definitely want to secure that in there so it doesn't fall out when you're carrying it, or the control unit doesn't fall out. But these screws are really tough to get to with the screwdriver from that angle. So I just installed one. It's pretty sturdy with one. It'll stay in there, but just make sure you put those screws in and go through the effort so that way it doesn't end up falling out when you're carrying it, or cracking or breaking or something like that. So but really, that was the only thing I found difficult about getting this thing together. Got about just under 5 gallons of water in here. No leaks or anything from the pump. Ran the pump a little bit. It's got a good flow. It comes out in there. Okay, so after playing around with the temperature controller for a few minutes, wasn't getting the heating element to go off, so I had to empty the water out, and then there's a reset switch at the bottom, so I pushed that, and now I got temperature going up. So I started this about 5 minutes ago. My groundwater was telling me it was 82, so it's moving up slowly here. Alright, looks like we're well into first test here. Everything's up and running, no leaks. Getting ready to get up to temperature here, start to boil, and see how that goes. So that was the assembly. I'm gonna clean it and get it ready and do a brew with it this weekend. So thanks for watching.